Hey fragrant friends, Happy New Year. I hope you guys had a wonderful new year. I hope you celebrated the way that you wanted to celebrate. Were able to spend some time with family and friends, get some goals together for this new year focus, and that's going to be kind of the vibe of this video. And I have to say, coming into this new year with the world being kind of turned upside down or continuing to be kind of things are a little bit uncertain now, and that gives me anxiety. I'm a person who likes to feel comforted, who likes to feel stable is more the word that I want to use, that everything, things are not going to change. And things are definitely on the verge of changing, in the process of changing. The world is wilding out. So I need a bit of comfort, and I've been running wild in these fragrant streets trying to grab things that I hear about, that I feel like I need. And it's really not that. I've come to the conclusion that it makes me feel good to have something new, to open a box and to see a beautiful bottle. I've said before that I'm a sucker for presentation. I took it even back, and I'm sorry, I hope you guys don't mind me talking. I feel like I need to talk a little bit, but I took it back because even to my grandma's things, like grandmas sometimes have trinkets in their cabinets, and each individual little trinket, I thought they were so cool to have a collection of things like that. So I think I've always liked having little beautiful things. And so now that I'm an adult, I think the fragrances, not only the fragrances, because I love that part of it too, but the bottles that they're in, and the beauty, the differences, the different styles, the whole thing just draws me in, the scent and the presentation. So I like luxurious things. And so just the whole experience of opening a new bottle and taking it out, and it's shiny, and you open it up and prime the pump, and you get that first sniff. That whole experience is very satisfying to me. And so when there's something out there new, I have a very curious mind. So to discover something new, or to maybe understand what somebody else is talking about, is really fun for me. And I think I just need to dial it back more. So what I'm gonna say is that this list consists of fragrances that make me feel grounded. I need more grounding. One of my resolutions is to be more focused, more disciplined. And so this space that I'm in is reflected by these fragrances. So they're all earthy. They have leather notes. They have woody notes. There are vanillas in here, but they're not necessarily gourmandy. The vanilla feels very natural. It's going to be a woody vanilla, a spicy vanilla, resinous. There's definitely some musks. I'm going to give you guys some musks, incensey vibes, some aromatic and green vibes, ambers I have in this list. And so it just, like I said, reflects, I've been reaching for a lot of sandalwood fragrances. That's another grouping I have here. And that's kind of what prompted this video, helped me get this video together, because I've been spraying a lot of just kind of straight up sandalwood fragrances as well. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So this intro is kind of long, but if you guys are on this same train of thought, if you want to hear about these fragrances, they're all very smooth, very comforting. I need comfort in this process as well. So although they're not very sweet, they do have a moderate to low moderate amount of sweetness here. I do need some sweetness in my fragrances, but if this idea appeals to you, or if you, like I said, like the train of thought, I hope you will continue with me and watch the video. I hope to see you. Okay guys, now I have to apologize in advance if you hear any fireworks. This is 4th of July. This is New Year's, and people are still enjoying themselves. So bear with me, and I hope that it doesn't get too crazy, because it was too fun last night. But so we're gonna start with the sandalwood fragrances, and I'm gonna start with one that I bought a few months back. I was on a rice kick. I was looking for some rice forward fragrances, And I was reading about this one. This is Dõjima, but it's backwards, by Mona del Orio. And I don't know if it will focus. There we go. It's a really beautiful, it's green sandalwood fragrance. Now the rice note, it's fleeting. It's not even, if you weren't looking for it, I don't know that you would know it was there, honestly, but the atomizer is really beautiful. And it's a green, kind of slightly spicy sandalwood. It's very smooth. The greenness is not harsh at all. It's just a little bit there. It's just at the top, but as it dries down, the spice is there. Like I said, if you're looking for it, you might be able to feel, how can I say, you know, rice when it's cooking, like basmati rice when it's cooking, it gives, you know, that rice aroma in the air. You might be able to catch a little bit of it in here, but it's not, that's not what's forward in this fragrance. It really is the sandalwood. Like I said, the greenness dies down, the spiciness and the sandalwood are what really stay around. And I love this. I've been spraying this. So this is Dõjima by Mona del Orio. The next one is similar. This is Santal-Basmati, and this is by Affinessence. Now this fragrance has more of the basmati, okay? This one doesn't have the greenness that the last one, the Mona del Orio, has. This one is definitely, I mean, it's still fleeting. The rice note is still fleeting, but it's more clear. Look at that. Definitely more clear. And it's beautiful spice, but still more of a sandalwood forward fragrance as everything dies down. Very cozy, very smooth, lasting. Both of these are long lasting, low projecting, but long lasting fragrances. So that is Santal-Basmati or Basmati by Affinessence. A new brand to me. I have another one in this list by them, but these are the first two fragrances that I've experienced from this brand. And I think that this line, I don't know that they have different lines, but it seems like they might, because these, it says it's focused on, it says collection notes de fond, like base notes. And I don't know that, I had to look it up myself. So don't let me fool you. So base notes, and the other, it's a collection of fragrances that just have base notes. So maybe, you know, they're designed to be layered with each other or other things, but it's beautiful on its own. So again, that's Santal-Basmati. Let's see, the next one. The next one is an example of my wildness, of my me being undisciplined. This is called Venenum 32, and this is by L'Artisan Parfumer. This is a chai tea, a beautiful spicy tea, milky sandalwood fragrance. Milky chai tea, sandalwood fragrance. This fragrance, if you are curious about it, I would definitely encourage you, implore you to please get a sample, because this is not cheap. This is one of my days where I was like, ooh, you know, that looks different, that looks nice, and I want to smell it. So instead of getting a sample, I went ahead and got the bottle. I'm not upset, and I'm glad that this one actually worked out. But definitely put a hole in my pocket. This is beautiful. There's even some pepper in this fragrance, so I think there might be some black pepper. I get that black peppery feel, you know, as if I were smelling from the pepper container. But definitely spices, definitely beautiful, sweeter spices like cinnamon, maybe nutmeg. Definitely get the tea vibe, the milky vibe, and as it dries down, that sandalwood vibe. So this is a beautiful fragrance as well. Try before you buy, okay? All right, and I like snakes, so I like the I like the label and the way that the bottle looks. Of course, we've talked about that. I'm happy with this purchase, so good thing. The next fragrance I heard about through Marcy from Marcelina Teresa. She was giving this fragrance away, and what drew me to it was the fact that she had such a hard time giving it away. And so I was like, you know, there has to be something to it. It was at a time where I wasn't sure that I really even liked sandalwood forward fragrances. I knew that I liked it in a blend, but you know, in the past, I would never have even considered this fragrance. But like I said, when I saw that she had such a hard time decluttering it, I wanted to, you know, I was more interested in it. So I'm glad to have this fragrance as well, Narciso Rodriguez Santal Musk. This is a soapy, it's soapy because of that white musk that Narciso uses, and I take it as being very clean and musky, kind of soapy. But as it dries down, there is, again, a little bit of spiciness to it, but there is a flower that I'm not normally into, and that's Lang Lang. So in this fragrance, there's Lang Lang mixed with a little, just a hint of spiciness and the sandalwood. And the way that it blends together makes me so happy to have this fragrance, because the Lang Lang gives the sandalwood a certain creaminess, coziness. And as it sits on your skin, these are fragrances that have to blend with your skin. Because out of the I was gonna say out of the jar, out of the bottle, you definitely get more of the white musk, but it warms up and it smooths out and it becomes so beautiful and creamy and woody on your skin. So I appreciate Lang Lang in that way, in the way that, in what it does for a sandalwood, this type of fragrance. So that is Santal Musk by Narciso Rodriguez. And I mean, look at the bottle, guys. It's beautiful. So those are my sandalwoods. Let's get into my leathers, okay? So I bought this, and I've mentioned this in my videos before. This is Rêve de Cashmere. I think I've mentioned it once or twice and done a community post about it. But this is by Van Cleef and Arpels. This is Rêve de Cashmere. The best way, and I feel like it's pretty accurate. I feel like everybody can understand me when I say this smells like a marshmallowy suede, okay? And it's not the sticky part of the marshmallow, it is the sweet dust that's on the outer part of it, mixed with a very soft and smooth suede. So this fragrance is so easy to wear. This is probably on the sweeter side as far as this list goes. This is definitely moderately sweet, not overly sweet, in the way that a marshmallow would be. You know, it's not overwhelming to smell the sweetness of a marshmallow, at least not to me. But the way that the suede is done in here with the extra sweetness is just so smooth. It's almost as if you were to have a very a very soft, somehow have a suede blanket, like a throw to put on you while you're sitting on the couch that's been sprayed in some lightly sweetened perfume. I mean, it's very, very beautiful. Or even a jacket or something just very cozy, a suede material. This is very nice. And this one is easy to layer. The leather is easy because if you are, I'm not a leather, I don't like a strong leather note, so it needs to be done in a very smooth way, in a very soft way, again with some sweetness. So if you are a person who is new to leather or is not sure what type of leather, you don't like strong leather, you should try this out. This fragrance I could also see being great for layering. I layered it with chocolate and it was beautiful. Oh, it was beautiful. Choco Musk is what I layered it with, and it went perfectly. So you could either on its own appreciate the simplicity of the suede and the sweetness, because really that's all that it is. And it's a drier fragrance too. It's on the dry side. And so I don't know, it works well for me. Some people might think it's plain, but I think it's beautiful. Some things are just elegantly beautiful, just simple and beautiful. So that's this. This is Rêve de Cashmere by Van Cleef and Arpels. The next leather that I have is new to my collection, and I got this fragrance. I got a few from this line, I have to admit, and I think I have another one, not in this list, but in another video I'm going to talk about a couple other that I have from this list. But this is Bucheron, and this is Cuir de Venise. And this fragrance is a more, not such a suede, I wouldn't say, but it's still a soft leather. It's not soft and fuzzy, but it's like a well-worn leather, actual leather, not a suede. But there's chocolate in this fragrance, cacao to be exact. And it's also mixed with papyrus, and I feel like when I first spray this fragrance, I get the leather, but I also get something very, very natural and green. And I wonder if it's the papyrus, but I also feel like cedar might have that effect as well, because there's cedar wood in here. But through every level, every stage of development in this fragrance, there's cacao. So the leather becomes more soft, more smooth. That greenness goes away. It definitely mellows down. And the end result of this fragrance is something so cozy. It just definitely makes you want to cuddle up. This fragrance is probably straight down the line unisex as far as I'm concerned. The way that it dries down is definitely more smooth and rich than in the beginning. You don't have that greenness. I think I've already said that. But there's something, it almost has, I'm losing my words. It's rich without being heavy. It's something, I can only describe it. This is what comes to my mind, so I have to be true to it. Bread. This does not smell like bread. That's not what I'm trying to say, but what I'm saying is that bread has a rich feeling, but it's still airy, if you can imagine what I'm saying. So imagine like a soft leather with the addition of cacao, which is not very sweet. This is not a very sweet fragrance at all, but it just melts together and becomes more rich. And it's just something cozy that you want to, nestle up to, want to cuddle up to on your skin as this fragrance dries down. So this is one, again, a buy that worked out beautifully. I'm glad to have this in my collection. And really, if you guys can find these, because, we're not paying full prices over here, but find these on discount. That's how I was able to get these on a discount. Fragrance Net, or that's where I got them from. But Dõjima Shop is an excellent place to find discounts. I haven't shopped at Fragrance X for a while, but they often have discounts as well. But anyway, that I got this on Fragrance Net. So if you see it there again, or if you don't, if it's not there, just put your name in the inform me when it comes back in stock, and they'll send you an email when a fragrance that you were interested in comes back into stock. So that is Cuir de Venise by Bucheron. A beautiful green cocoa leather fragrance. Let's see, where should we go? Let's go to amber. This is an amber that is new to my collection, and this is by Jimmy Choo. This is their collection, their seduction collection, I think. There are 4 or 5 fragrances. These were on Dõjima Shop, you guys, for $85, and I was able to get 3 of them. I'm looking for the vanilla, but these fragrances in general, if you're able to find them, I didn't get the tuberose, but anyway, if you're able to find them at that price, at a very discounted price, because originally these fragrances are $220 retail, and I would say I wouldn't necessarily, with the 3 that I have, pay retail for these fragrances, but at this price, maybe at about $100 or less, I would say they are beautifully feminine fragrances, okay? These are very beautiful and mass appealing. They're very easy to love. So this amber, take it, has a weighty ball on the top and the bottle. I mean, come on. A weighty top, and the amber, excuse me, that's the atomizer. It has some cinnamon at the top, but as I smell it, I get a mentholated feel in the back of my nasal passages. I don't think that that's very apparent in the air. It's just something that I get close up when I'm smelling it. But it's a very smooth, it's a clear, slightly sweet, and I would say this is a cozy, it is, there's that mentholated feel right there. I would say that you could wear this fragrance out to a nice dinner, or maybe like a small gathering, get together. It's like cozy but elegant. Really, that's what I'm getting from here. That mentholated feel, little bit of cinnamon, and a very smooth amber, leaning on the vanillic side. I know some ambers can be very resinous. This amber is kind of resinous, but leaning on the vanillic side. So not too sweet with the vanilla, not too vanilla amber, but I would say this is a great amber fragrance. So that is Amber Kiss by Jimmy Choo, the Seduction Collection. The next amber, now this is an exception to the rule in this list, I would say. This fragrance is very elegant. This fragrance is one that can be worn out. She can take you out wherever you're going. It represents more of a personality than a fragrance that's screaming for attention. And that personality, I think, can fit in any setting, right? This, I guess what I'm trying to say is, this is Rosendo Mateu No. 5. Now this is Floral Amber Musk. This fragrance is, I feel like it's mysterious. It might represent somebody who has more of a mysterious, kind of quiet personality, but somebody who has an energy that's still strong. She's gonna draw you or him, you know, to them. They're not, like, I would say florals and fruits are more like, they strike me as social butterfly fragrances. You know, they're very friendly, they're very open, they're very, you know, want to talk to everybody or meet everybody, and, you know, they make themselves known. Now, this fragrance, you're gonna feel her because this vibe is strong, but it's not a fragrance that is, you're not a social butterfly when you are wearing this fragrance. You are magnetic and you're drawing people to you. So that is the vibe that I get from Rosendo Mateu No. 5. It's ambery, it's musky. I understand what people mean when they say that they get that burnt tire. I don't perceive it that way, but I guess I do understand what people mean when they say that. It's just hard to describe, but it is almost smoky. That's what I kind of get. So kind of smoky, a little bit vanillic, definitely amber, definitely musky. And there is an idea. There's an idea of a floral. Now, if you smell this straight out of the cap, you're not gonna identify or be able to say, hey, there's florals in this fragrance. But if you think about it, and, you know, if you let yourself kind of discover the fragrance and really think about the fragrance, you might say, okay, I mean, I can see how or what a floral might do for this fragrance. That's how I would describe it. So this is the mysterious woman, Rosendo, or man, Rosendo Mateu No. 5, okay? Okay, so next, we're gonna go into our kind of resinous fragrances, resinous, cozy fragrances. The first one I have, this is popular, I'm sure you guys know, and if you haven't, this is Seta by Moresque. This is the Secret Garden. Let's see if I can get that in the camera. There we go. She's very airy, but creamy and vanillic at the same time. There's myrrh, there's lang lang in here, sandalwood, vanilla. I think there's some brighter notes on top, like lemon, just to brighten it up. It doesn't smell like a lemon. There goes the fireworks. But it is a very airy fragrance. So it's beautifully soft and creamy and easy to wear. So this is Seta. And again, this is a fragrance, another fragrance where I really appreciate what the Lang Lang does for the fragrance. It makes it creamy with the resins, the myrrh, and the sandalwood. It's really, really beautiful. And another one that is somewhat similar, this is Azalea, and this is by Attar collection. This one is supposed to be a dupe for Psychedelic Love by Initio. And I had a sample of Psychedelic Love, and they are very, very similar. I would say you could buy, this is, you know, this is much more affordable. I've got this, I think, for about $70, maybe $75 on Joma Shop. But this is an example of like, this has almond in it, heliotrope. This is marzipan, so really almond, but like a creamy almond. This is so nice. Okay, so mixed with the Lang Lang, which gives a creaminess also with the woods, the myrrh, and the sandalwood in here. I also think that there's vanilla, but this is a very I don't know, do people talk about Psychedelic Love? I don't hear about it very much. But I definitely think that it is a fragrance worth trying, or, you know, this one. It's just that people talk about Lang Lang having a creaminess, but also like a banana feel. Now, I'm not a banana girl. I don't want to smell like a banana, but I understand that kind of banana-ish, more so on the creamy side, that it adds to this fragrance. The myrrh, the marzipan, but you know, almond. I love an almond note, sandalwood. All of those notes together are mixed in a way that I really, really can appreciate. Still on the woody side, but very creamy and soft and beautiful. So this is Azalea by Attar collection. Hope you guys try it. It deserves some attention. The next one are more musks, okay? So the number 5, I put more so in the amber category, but we're gonna go into some pretty much straight up musks. Now this is Royal Muska by Micallef. This is very simple. This is just what I have. This is what I got, blind buy, that I really appreciate. There's a raspberry note in here that I don't define. I can't say there would be raspberry in this fragrance if I didn't know. For me, this fragrance is very clean but warm. It's just a clean, warm musk, okay? Very fresh but warm. There's a little bit of roughness at the top, I have to say. But as it dries down, it becomes more smooth on your skin. It really gives me a feeling of laundry detergent, but it's warm. I think I've said in other videos, it feels like taking some warm laundry out of the dryer. So it feels like, you know, the temperature is warm of the clothes, but they still smell soft and clean. That's what this gives you after it dries down. I have to say it is a little bit rough on the top, but in the air, it's very beautiful. So this is Royal Muska by Micallef. And the next one, I like Rosendo Mateu. I haven't gotten the number 6. That one is having its moment, but I also have the number 3, and this is Iris, Neroli, and White Musk, okay? This one starts off very bitter and green, and I didn't think that I liked it. I thought this was gonna be a fail, but letting this wear on the skin and dry down, this musk in here is very, see, there's that bitter greenness that gave me trouble in the beginning. But like I said, let it dry down. Don't give up on this fragrance. If you like a musk, a soft, it got in my mouth and it was dry in my nose. So that's what happened. But let it dry down. You'll get a very beautiful, very soft, powdery musk. Very beautiful. So give this one time. This is the number 3 by Rosendo Mateu. It's that simple, that's all. Now, the next one, I am in love with this fragrance, but I haven't really had the occasion, let's say, I haven't made an occasion to wear this fragrance because I can wear it in the house all I want. I've decanted some of it to some friends, but I want to wear this fragrance out. I want to have an occasion to wear this fragrance. This is Oud Vendome by Ex Nihilo. And I feel like this is such a beautiful oud. This is an oud for people who are beginners, I believe. I believe that this is just a very smooth and easy to wear oud because it doesn't smell, it's not pungent, okay? This is very, there's ginger in here, there's incense in here, there is oud, galbanum, which is like a green, I don't know, I want to say herbaceous, but I'm actually not sure if it's herbaceous. I don't get any herbs, I don't get that aromatic feel in here. I don't get a greenness in here. What I get is a sweetness. I get sweet, woody. It's almost candy-like. It's almost fruit-like. It's almost fruit-like. And as it starts to dry down, it feels almost chocolatey on your skin. Just not for the entire wear of the fragrance, but there is definitely a chocolatey feel to this fragrance. It dries down to a clean wood. If you're searching, you can pick out a little bit of something animalic, just a hint, but it's not something that you would find if you weren't looking for it. Honestly, this is a very easy to wear oud. So if you haven't tried it, don't blind buy it. I wouldn't suggest that. It's expensive. This has been in my collection for a while, but try it. I think this one deserves a sample, absolutely. So this is Oud Vendome by Ex Nihilo. Very rich, very clear. It's a clear fragrance, very beautiful oud fragrance. So very, very nice. The next category, we'll move into vanillas, okay? So I was gonna put Ani in this list, and I think that it could fit, but like I said, I was looking for fragrances that didn't really have any fruits or florals. I just wanted the earth, just the, leaves and the trees and the resins and all of that. So vanilla, I even questioned whether I should put vanilla in here, but the way that these vanillas are done, it absolutely fits. So this one is Eau Duelle by Dyptique. And I've had this fragrance for years. I mean, it's really beautiful and easy to wear. And this is just a piney vanilla, very green, like a spicy green vanilla. It feels like you could be walking outdoors with a vanilla fragrance, where there are fragrant pine trees and you can smell them all around you. This is really an easy wear for me. I don't know, you would have to like the greenness because it is very prominent, but it's an easy wear for me. I do like that feel. So Eau Duelle by Dyptique. Oh, and this is the EDT, not the EDP. I haven't smelled that one. So the next one we'll talk about is a Lattafa fragrance. This is Aldur al Maknoon. Aldur al Maknoon. This fragrance, okay, it's not easy, I'll have to say, but there's something about it that kept me coming back and interested. I wanted to spray it. I actually wore it to work one day, very lightly, but I did because I love the way this dries down. This fragrance has a heavy opening of lavender and lemon, and it is very, very aromatic. So it's almost masculine, but it's just so strong and like there's nothing else. But if you let it dry down, if you give it a chance, it will give you a beautiful incensey vanilla. Okay, and it's not, as far as I could tell, it's not a fragrance that is going to overtake the room with, I mean, being as strong as it is on the first spray. I would be concerned that it would overtake things, but I feel like with the density of it, give it a little while maybe, but because I feel like I can feel it in the air. Just give it a few sprays, maybe 2 or 3, and I think that it becomes a skin scent sooner than you would think. But that lavender and that lemon are so, so strong in the beginning. But like I said, the incense and the vanilla get to be very creamy and smooth in the base. So just give it about an hour or so if you're willing to do that. But I think that it could be worth it if you're into the idea of what I'm describing. But I'm happy to have this fragrance. It's not, like I said, it's not an easy one. You probably are gonna have to blind buy this fragrance. It was probably about $20 maybe. That's the standard price for a lot of Lattafas. Not much more than that if it was. But if you're willing to take a chance, if you're willing to be adventurous, give this a try. You won't be disappointed if you like incense with the base of this fragrance. But like I said, the lavender and everything else, it's just strong. So this is a iffy fragrance. It's not an easy to love. It's not a mass appealing fragrance. You have to know what you're looking for or be willing to take a chance. So this is Aldur Al Maknoon. And I'll put all the fragrances. See, it's already starting to smooth and soften. So I'll put all these fragrances because I know that one might be hard for people to understand as I'm voicing it, but I'll put them in the description box, okay? Beautiful. So the next one I loved when I first got it. I've been spraying it from time to time. This is Bois d'Amande. This is probably the brightest fragrance on this list, but this is a bright, woody, almondy vanilla, okay? This is probably, I have to say, the most, it doesn't, oh, there's that lemon right now. See, that's why I love fragrances. You get different things at different times, depending on, I think it's because I smelled that, and then now, I don't know. But I'm able to distinctly pick out the lemon in this fragrance, maybe because it's matured, but I feel like I wore this about a week ago and I didn't. Anyway, almond and lemon and vanilla and a woody feel on the dry down. It's not necessarily the most natural woody feeling. It's more almondy and vanilla than anything else, but it does have a woody feel, and it is very cozy, bright and cozy. So that is Bois d'Amande. It's not complicated. It's very simple actually, but it's a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Very nice. I love this one. Okay, let's see. The next one is another one that, okay, was a blind buy, but I thought it was gonna be easy when I got it and sprayed it. It's not. This is not an easy fragrance at all, but it's a good fragrance. It's a great fragrance. So this is Vanille Tonka, right, by the House of Nicolai. And this is a spicy vanilla. The vanilla in here is so creamy and natural smelling. Now so this fragrance almost feels like it blends well, but the vanilla in here is, if it were on the side, I would say it would be a gourmand vanilla, okay? The creaminess of it and the richness of it, and it's natural. It smells like a natural vanilla, but there are a lot of spices in here. So for example, I said there weren't any flowers. There's carnation in here. Carnation, it slides through, it goes through because carnation is such a spicy flower. It has clove, it feels like clove. And so that's the type of spice. Now I have a hard time with clove, but the way that this is blended, it's very nice. And this is strong. If you get this on your clothes, I wore this at night. I wore it overnight and it was so strong on my clothes in the morning. I mean, maybe not so strong, I shouldn't say that, but I could smell it clearly on my clothes. I was getting wafts of it from overnight. So pepper, I think when I first spray, where is another strip? I'll just spray it in the air. Pepper in the air and spice from the carnation, that clove spice from the carnation, and that it almost has a greenness to it. I think there's basil in here, so like a green herbaceous feeling. Ooh, I might sneeze again, hold on. Okay, I'm back. So yeah, that green feeling in the top, it doesn't last for a long time. It settles down, but that spice definitely stays. And this is a tester, so actually it has the notes on the back. And so there's incense, vanilla, and tonka bean, but it's more than that. It's spicy. So this is that. So if you're willing to take a chance, again, if you're willing to try something that is not so straightforward, but the vanilla, if I had to say the vanilla, like I said, if it was taken out of this composition, it would be a gourmand composition. It would be a gourmand vanilla, but this is beautiful. Warm weather, I mean, cool weather only. So this is Vanilla Tonka. Another one that I have, this video is kind of a mess, but if you're hanging in there with me, I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you hanging in there with me. I really think that these are worth talking about. So this is Aqua de Parma. This is one that I've had for years. This is Vanilla, and this is a very powdery. It is baby powderish. I have to say that. When you spray that, you definitely get a feel of that baby powder, but the vanilla is there. It's and there's also like a green nature to this fragrance. There's jasmine in here, and I think the jasmine is giving the greenness to this fragrance. It doesn't smell like jasmine, doesn't smell like flowers at all, but just a green. Am I gonna sneeze? Green vanilla with some baby powder added in. For me, that's comforting, and I like this fragrance. Again, this is not a vanilla that everybody is gonna like. I know baby powder is a note that people don't appreciate in fragrances. I don't mind it. I find it comforting, and I don't want all my fragrances to smell like baby powder when they smell powdery. But I don't mind it. I think this one is well done. So that is Aqua de Parma Vanilla. And the last one on this list is from Affinessence, and this is Vanille Benzoin. I'm not gonna say it the way that's written here because I can't. Vanilla Benzoin. Benzoin and vanilla. This fragrance actually has, it's resinous vanilla, so it feels more perfumey. But I think that is because of the resins. There is a cherry feel. Let me go ahead and spray this on my hand. Ooh, look at that puff. It's pretty. There is a slight, because there's almond in here as well. This vanilla is creamy, but it's how can I describe it? Vanilla is and the almond are creamy, so it's not it's more bright. It's not just a thick, rich, sweet vanilla. I think that almond definitely brightens it up and gives, if you're looking for a cherry in this fragrance, you'll find it. You know, you'll find it in the beginning, and it doesn't last throughout the fragrance, but it's there. But it smells very, like I said in the beginning, it smells more on the perfumey side, but almond and vanilla, not so rich. It's kind of lifted, but still creamy. So that is this fragrance, and I think this is beautiful as well. Very smooth. All these fragrances are smooth and comforting. So that's all I have to say as far as this list goes. Have you guys tried any of these? I know it was kind of long, but let me know what you use to ground yourself. What fragrances do you use to focus and to feel grounded? That's all I have for you today. Again, I hope you guys had a wonderful new year and blessings on your year. Love, Jay. Bye-bye.